Good morning, my dear students. Today we move on to the second part of the tense, that is past tense. As you already know that the past tense have got four divisions, and they are the following: simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. In the previous class we had learned the usages of simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous tense. In the coming classes we will be going through the past tense, and today we will be dealing with simple past tense and past continuous tense. Now let's move on to the class, and now what we are going to learn is about the usages of simple past tense, where we must be using the simple past tense. Let's go to the first usage of it. To talk about an action or event in the past, which means we are using the simple past tense to talk about an action or event that happened in the past. Let's go through two examples here. The car exploded at 9:30 a.m. She went to the market in the morning. These two words, exploded in the first sentence and went in the second sentence, indicate the events or actions that happened in the past. The above examples indicate actions that took place in the past. The first example, it is denoted by the word exploded. In the second example, it is denoted by the word went. So we have used the simple past tense to talk about event or action that happened in the past tense. What's the second usage of simple past tense? It is used for stories or list of events. What does it mean? Once upon a time there lived a farmer. We are using the simple past tense, and the simple past tense is indicated by the word called lived in the particular sentence. The word lived denotes the simple past tense. For another example, he went to a cafe and ordered a tea. In this particular example, there are two events that have happened: going to a cafe and ordering a tea. So there is a list of events which are denoted by the simple past tense. Went to a cafe, ordered a tea. These two events are denoted by the simple past tense. I hope it is clear for you. If you have the habit of listening stories to your grandparents, it will be easy for you to understand. Let's move on to the third usage of simple past tense, and that is to talk about things that are not real in the present or in the future. Which means you are using the simple past tense to talk about something which is not real in the present or in the future. Let's take the first example. If I won the lottery, I would buy a horse. It is not in the present, which means I have not won the lottery now, or it is not in the future. If I won the lottery, the word called won indicates an action which is not real in the present or in the future. For better understanding, we have another example here. If I became the Prime Minister, I would save all. Became is the word that is used to denote an action which is not real in the present or in the future. So I think that is clear for you. We are using the simple past tense to talk about things that are not real in the present or in the future. Let's move on to the next usage, that is we are using the simple past tense to denote past situations that existed over a period of time in the past, which means there was a past situation that was continuing for a period of time in the past. Let's see an example here. He lived in Delhi during his childhood. Living is a past situation that existed over a period of time. That over a period of time is denoted by the word called childhood. Make it more clear for you. In this example, the word live denotes a past situation, which means I lived in Delhi, and that particular living carried over a period of time, and that period of time is denoted by the word called childhood. So we are using the simple past tense to denote a past situation that existed over a period of time in the past. Let's move on to the next usage of simple past tense, that is to indicate habitual actions. Habitual means regular actions that took place in the past. Let's see the example here. We played a lot in our school days. Played is the regular action that happened in the past. The past is denoted by the word called school days. In this example, the word played is the habitual action. Habitual action means regular action, that is playing that took place during school days in the past. I hope it is clear for you. These are the 5 different usages of simple past tense. Kindly go through these notes once again and try to understand it. Now let's move on to the next one, that is past continuous tense. Where do we use the past continuous tense? Let's take the first usage, that is for the background of a story. If you have the habit of telling story, you must be very clear with this particular usage. Let's see the example here. The birds were singing and the sun was shining. In this particular example, the birds were singing and the sun was shining. These 2 sentences are preparing a background of a particular story. In this example, past continuous tense is used to indicate the background of a story. As I have already told you in the example, the birds were singing, the sun was shining. These 2 sentences are preparing the background for a particular story. Let's move on to the next one, that is an action in the past which overlaps another action or time. Once again, an action in the past which overlaps another action or time. Make it clear with an example here. I was walking to the station when I met her. So there are 2 actions that are happening here, walking to the station and meeting her. Let's see how does it work. There are 2 actions in the given example. We are using the past continuous tense to indicate the progressive past action, that is walking to the station is a progressive action, and we are using the simple past tense. When I met her is a simple past tense to indicate shorter action. Was walking is a progressive action and met her is the shorter action. So there are 2 actions. One is denoted by the past continuous tense, another action is denoted by the simple past tense, and we use the past continuous tense for the progressive past action and we use the simple past tense for the shorter action. An action in the past which overlaps another action or time. So remember, there will be 2 actions and we use the past continuous tense for the progressive action and we use the simple past tense for the shorter action. I hope you have understood it. Let's see the third usage of it. A gradual development of the action in the past, which means an action that was developing in the past. Let's see the example. It was getting dark. What is the gradual development of the action? That is getting dark is the gradual or slow development of the action. Second, he was becoming more nervous. The gradual development of the action is denoted by the word called was becoming more nervous. The given examples, getting dark and becoming more nervous, indicate the gradual or the slow development of the past action. Getting dark and becoming more nervous. Let's see the next usage. To indicate repeated past actions in the past. To indicate repeated past actions in the past, not in the present, we use always and constantly. Let's see how does it work. He was always using vulgar languages. Repeated past action. And what is the repeated past action? That is using vulgar languages that happened in the past, not in the present. He was always using, which means indicating repeated past actions in the past, not in the present. He was always using vulgar languages. Take the second example. He was constantly talking in the class. That was a past repeated action. What is the repeated action? Constantly talking in the class. It happened in the past. To make you more clear, let's go through what is written here. In these examples, there are two repeated past actions in the past. Okay, there was always using and was constantly talking. So we are supposed to use the past continuous tense. What's the next usage? The past continuous tense is used with time adverbial, which means it means that the action began before that time and continued after that time. Once again, it means that the action began before that time, a particular time, and continued that action after that particular time. Let's see the example here. At 9 o'clock, she was preparing the breakfast. It means that action began before that time, which means she started to prepare the breakfast before 9 o'clock, and preparing the breakfast continued even after 9 o'clock. Once again, the particular action called preparing breakfast began before 9 o'clock and it continued after 9 o'clock. Once again, see the usage. It means that the action began before that time, which means here preparing the breakfast began before 9 o'clock and continued after that. That particular preparing breakfast continued even after 9 o'clock also. Let's go through another example here. At 4 o'clock, he was walking on the road. So walking on the road is the action that began before 9 o'clock and it continued before 4 o'clock and it continued after 4 o'clock. I hope you are clear with this. So there is a time before which the action began and the particular action is being continued even after that particular time. And that's it about the past continuous tense. I hope you have understood it or you are clear with it. Kindly go through the notes once again and try to understand it better, because this is the basis of English language. If you do not understand where to use the different tenses, when you talk or when you write something, definitely there will be mistakes. So continue to study well. Thank you.